A very warm good morning to all of you, my dear students of class 7 B and C. I hope you are very fine, very safe, and very good in your house. Will be reading, will be studying at this crucial time. I am just teaching you right now your first chapter of history book, tracing changes through a thousand years. Means we are just trying to know that what kind of changes came in our Indian society between I mean between 700 AD to 1750 AD. कहने का तात्पर्य यह है कि 700 साल से लेकर के 700 AD से लेकर के 1750 AD तक, मतलब लगभग 1050 ईयर के बीच में जो हमारी सोसाइटी, जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम, जो हमारे कल्चर, इन सब में जो चेंज आया उन सब के बारे में हम इस बुक में पढ़ेंगे और उन सभी चैप्टर्स के बारे में ब्रीफ में हम अभी चर्चा कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, इस चैप्टर में बड़े ही शॉर्ट में चर्चा कर रहे हैं कि हम इस बुक में क्या क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं। ठीक है, तो मैं काफ़ी हद तक आपको बता चुका था और हम इस चैप्टर को बिल्कुल ख़त्म करने वाले हैं, समाप्त करने वाले हैं। तो इसी क्रम में मैं अब आगे पढ़ता हूँ। Few historians follow the periodization today. Most look to economic and social factors to characterize the major elements of different movements of the past. The histories you read last year included a wide range of early societies, hunter-gatherers, early farmers, people living in towns and villages, and early empires and kingdoms. The history the histories you will be studying this year, often described as medieval, you will find out more about the spread of peasant societies, the rise of religion and imperial state formations, sometimes at the cost of pastoral and forest people, the development of Hinduism and Islam as major religions, and the arrival of European trading companies. Although yesterday I have taught this thing to you, but just to memorize, just to let you memorize once, I am again explaining it, that in medieval period what we found, what are the characteristic of medieval period. So number one, the spread of peasant societies. Number two, the rise of regional and imperial state formations. Number three, sometimes at the cost of pastoral and forest people, the development of Hinduism and Islam as major religions, and arrival of European trading companies. These were some basic characteristics, these were some fundamental things about this this period, this medieval time period that start with 700 AD and ends on 1750 AD. These thousands years of Indian history witnessed considerable change. After all, the 16th and 18th centuries were quite different from the 8th or the 11th. Therefore, describing the entire period as one historical unit is not without its problem. Moreover, medieval period is often contrasted with the modern period. Now see, in this paragraph what we are doing, we are trying to compare medieval history, medieval time period to modern time period. Now you people will ask that, sir, by which time we can say that this is modern time period is running, and by which time can we say that this is medieval time period running. So from 712, remember this thing, from 712 to 1707, from 712 to 1707, it is regarded that it was medieval time period of Indian history. Then from 707, what happened in the year 712? In 712, first Arabian invader named, who was that? Muhammad bin Qasim. First Arabian victorious person, army commander, invader, anything you may call. His name was Muhammad bin Qasim. He came to India and he defeated Dahir. Okay, Dahir was the emperor of Sindh. Right now, Sindh is a province of Pakistan. So he defeated Dahir. Then what happened? Then in the very next year, I mean after 712, sorry, then what happened in 1707, I mean 1707, what happened in that year? In that year, what do we find? That Aurangzeb passed away from European Empire. Aurangzeb passed away from from medieval time period. I mean from Mughal dynasty. A great emperor named Aurangzeb passed away. He died. So after 707, later Mughal period is regarded as the modern India. Then later Mughal emperors, after the Aurangzeb, the emperor of Mughal dynasty who sat on the throne of Delhi, they were called later Mughal emperors. And from there, then British East India Company, then Indian freedom fighting, then role of Gandhiji, then independence of India and division of India. All these histories, all this part of history comes in as modern history. So now in this paragraph, what do you want to? I mean, what we are learning that these thousands year of medieval history have witnessed a lot of changes. After all, the 6th and 11th century were quite different from 8th and 11th century. So, the 16th and 11th century was quite different from 8th and 11th century. 100% it will be different. Therefore, describing the entire period as an one historical unit. Therefore, as a consequence, describing the whole period from 700 to 1707 or 1750 as a historical unit creates a lot of problem for us, provides us for a lot of thing to discuss. It was more quite different from the historical period, not without its problem. Moreover, the medieval period is often contrasted with the modern period. Modernity carries with a sense of material progress and intellectual advancement. Okay, advancement underline both the term. Now how can we differentiate that it is modern period and it is medieval period? On the basis of timeline, okay, I agree. Another thing, on the basis of this thing, that in modern period, what do we find material progress and intellectual advancement. What do we find? We find mental progress and intellectual advancement in modern period, and that lacuna was available in medieval time period. So that lacuna, I mean, of not founding these things was, I mean, in medieval time period, there was nothing like modern time, I mean, mental progress and intellectual advancement. Mental progress and intellectual advancement was not present in medieval time period. This seems to suggest that the medieval period was lacking in any change whatsoever, but of course we know this was not the case. This seems to suggest that the medieval period was lacking in any change. Okay, that in medieval period was not able to accept any change that was brought due to mental progress or I mean wisdom, intelligence. But it was only trying to, medieval period was totally dependent upon, I mean, traditional thinking, upon conservative thinking, upon ancient thinking, lacking in any change whatsoever. But of course we know this was not the case. But at least the writer wants to say that it was not 100% true. We all know that some changes took place in the society also. Now next thing, during these thousands years, the societies of the subcontinent were transferred often, and economies in several regions reached a level of prosperity that attracted the interest of European trading companies. Now, what happened? During thousands of years, the societies of the subcontinent were transferred often, and economies in several regions reached a level of prosperity. I mean, from the economic point of view, between these 11, I mean, thousands of years, our society got well developed, reached a level of prosperity that attracted the interest of European trading companies. As you read this book, look out for signs of change and the historical process at work. Also, whenever you can, compare what you read in this book with what you read last year. Now, here the writer wants to say that a good history student should always have an eye to see what is good or what is bad for him. What kind of change is the society is taking place from various passages of time. So look out for changes and continuities whatever you can, and look at the world around you to see what else has changed or remained the same. And we should see that we should always have a keen observation on such a kind of thing, that which thing is taking place in our country on around us, or which thing is not taking place, what kind of changes are being accepted by our society, and what kind of changes our society is not ready to accept. So this is the importance of history. History teaches us to take good decision on the experience of the decision of past, on the experience of the incidents of past. History is capable of learning us what to do and what not to do. This is the importance of this subject. And now this chapter ends. So, my dear students, I have finished this chapter, and I request all of you to please, please write down all these things on your copy, and please read this chapter once again and ask me if there will be any problem for you people. Ask me in your Google Classroom, ask me on my WhatsApp if you are having any kind of problem. Now we come to exercise. Means first question is let's recall. Let's recall. Hmm? The first question for you: who was considered a foreigner in the past? Who was considered a foreigner in the past? I have taught you. You have to reply that question. It is not very difficult. On the page number 2, I think, of your copy of your book, you will easily able to find this question, the answer of this question. That according to, now see page number 4. Page number 4. The medieval time period, a foreigner was any stranger who appeared, say, in the given village, someone who was not of a part of the society of culture. On the very starting of fourth page, this definition of foreigner people has been given, okay, on the first paragraph. I have read it out. In medieval period, a foreigner was any stranger person who appeared, say, in a given village, someone who was not a part of that society or culture. In Hindi, the term Pardeshi might be used to describe such a person, and in Persian, Ajnabi. Okay, so, and further another thing has been written: a city dweller therefore might have regarded as a forest dweller एज अ फॉरेनर. जैसे शहर का कोई आदमी फॉरेस्ट में जा कर के बस जाए तो फॉरेस्ट वालों के लिए वो अजनबी ही लगेगा, और फॉरेस्ट का कोई आदमी कोई ट्राइब अगर शहर में जा कर के बस जाए तो उनके लिए वो अजनबी ही लगेगी. दैट इज़ कॉल्ड फॉरेनर्स. तो इस तरह से हमने देखा बेटा कि व्हाट डू मीन बाय फॉरेनर. किसी दूसरे गांव का आदमी किसी दूसरे गांव में, किसी दूसरी सोसाइटी का आदमी किसी दूसरी सोसाइटी में, कि जंगल का आदमी शहर में या शहर का आदमी जंगल में आकर के जब बस जाते हैं तो ऐसे लोगों को फॉरेनर कहा जाता है. लेकिन आज के सेंस में ऐसा नहीं है. आज यदि कोई व्यक्ति हमारे देश के बाहर से आकर के हमारे देश में बसता है या रहता है, और हमारे देश का यदि वो सिटीजन नहीं है, वो नागरिक नहीं है, then that person is called foreigner for us. Okay, so this is the answer of your first question. Now we come to another one, another question. State whether true or false. Now you have to tell what do you, whether these statements are true or false. A. We do not find inscriptions for the period after 700. We do not find inscriptions for the period after 700. This is false. We find a lot of inscriptions during Sultanate time period. In Sanskrit inscription of Balban has been also mentioned in your book. So this is the false statement. We do not find inscription for the period after 700. A. False. Now we come to question number B. The Marathas asserted their political importance during this period. The Marathas asserted their political importance during this period. 100% correct answer. 100% correct answer. Now see, forest dwellers were sometimes pushed out of their land with the spread of agriculture settlements. Forest dwellers were sometimes pushed out of their lands with the spread of agricultural settlement. Okay. Then what right now we are learning? Forest dwellers were sometimes pushed off their land. Sometimes the people of, other villages were pushed out of their land. Why? With the spread of agricultural settlement. 100% correct. We have read that the persons who were in jungles, who were in forest, then who were tribes in nature, sometimes then they were just sent out of the village, out of the jungles, out of the forest. Why? Because people need some agricultural land and they were ready to cut all the forest, so they were sent out of their land with the spread of agriculture settlement. This statement is 100% correct. Then option number D. Sultan Ghasuddin Balban controlled Assam, Manipur and Kashmir. Sultan Ghasuddin Balban controlled Assam, Manipur and Kashmir. I think this is a false statement. This is a false, but still once we check it, that where we get the notion of Sultan Ghasuddin Balban. Am I right? Then this is on page number 9. Sultan Ghasuddin Balban explained that he was the ruler of vast empire that starts from Bengal and east to Ghazni, okay, and western God, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Now here we can see that his empire starts from Bengal to the east of Ghazni in Afghanistan, in the west and included all the South India. People of different regions like Gauda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat apparently fled before his armies. Okay, so now we see what is our question. Sultan Ghasuddin Balban controlled Assam, Manipur, and Kashmir. Sorry, this is false statement, because the places that are mentioned in this book, in there, in those among those places, we did not find Assam, we did not find Manipur, and we did not find Kashmir also. So the question number third, of your exercise, archives are places where records are kept. Archives are places where records are kept. Okay. Then next, Ziauddin Barni was a 14th century chronicler. Ziauddin Barni was a 14th century chronicler. Now third, see, some dashes are there, were some of the new groups introduced into the subcontinent during this period. Now what we have to fill it. Let's see the new groups. Okay, what can we fill it here? We can fill it I mean some empire's name, like what is number one, Cholas, number two, Khiljis, number three, I mean that one, Ghulam dynasty, number four, Tughlaq dynasty, number five, Mughal dynasty. Okay, so Cholas, if we eliminate Cholas also, even then Tughlaqs, Mughals, Khiljis, Shayyad, and slave, I mean Ghulam dynasty, were some of new groups introduced into the subcontinent during this time period. So, my dear students, what is your homework? Now, I'd like to assign a little bit more homework to you. First homework for you people, that from page number 9. Page number 9, you have to draw this map of India on your history copy, in your classwork copy. Listen, homework number 1, from page number 9, you have to draw a map of India and you have to locate all these places from page number 9. Then, what is your second homework? You have to write the meaning of four words. You have to write the meaning of four words, explain it. Number A, manuscript, B, jati, C, region, and D, periodization. Number A, manuscript, B, jati, C, region, number D, periodization. You have to write the meaning of these four words. Okay, and tomorrow when I will finish your exercise, then you have to write your exercise also. Okay, now what is your homework for today? You have to tell me the meaning of these four words. Then what is another one homework? Draw a map of India and locate from page number 9 and locate all these places that have been mentioned, and you have to submit it by today. In your Google Classroom, submit your homework by today. We will meet in tomorrow class. So all the best for today and take care about yourself. We will meet tomorrow. All the best till that time period. Bye. Take care. Complete your homework and show it to me. Bye.